Hey, everybody. I'm John, and this week on The Bottom Shelf, we're going to watch Battlefield Earth.
Yay. Are you ready to discover a world of terrible movies? High above the planet Geekery, three brave individuals, with the help of other friends, work through a list of terrible movies to discover one simple truth. Are they better than people think? Or do they really belong on the bottom shelf? Grab your popcorn, grab your favorite snack, and get ready to find out.
You know, despite the fact that I'm the one who made it, I really love that theme song. Just saying.
It's a good theme song. I like it.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to The Bottom Shelf, the show where we watch critically awful films so you don't have to. The Bottom Shelf is an extension of Geek Devotions, a show from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. So if you don't listen past this moment, know this: you are loved, you are cared for, and there is a plan and purpose for your life. That said, I am John, and with me we have Kevin, the Dapper Man. What is up, Kevin? How are you doing?
I'm up.
You're up. All right.
I'm doing.
I'm glad we're being literal today. And with Kevin, we have my boss, your friend, Dallas.
What's going on, guys?
You told me I can't.
Glad to be back here.
You told me I can't refer to you as my overlord anymore. So
yeah, that's kind of inappropriate.
So
I don't lord over you. I just make sure you don't do anything dumb.
Whatever.
You're like the side lord.
Like
I wasn't doing anything over you. I was doing more to the side of your helmet, sir.
He's a backseat driver.
I'm just here to make sure you don't do anything crazy, like launch my taco machine back into space again.
I told you I'm buying a new one. So
all right, I'm waiting for it.
This better freaking work if you buy a new one.
Whatever. So let's go ahead and introduce this film. Who wants to do the film introduction for Battlefield Earth?
How'd you know I was holding in my hand? Was it that that much notice? Okay. Well, anyways, yes, this movie that we are going to be watching and talking about and discussing and all kinds of other things is called Battlefield Earth. It was made in 2000. It's about 2 hours long. The director is Roger Christian. Definitely look up his IMDb and see his other movies he's directed, if you wish. It's also starring evil, laughing, non-dancing John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker's functioning right eye. The budget is $73 million. Box office is $29.7 million. What the flip?
Hold please while we get ourselves back together.
You gotta warn a guy before you're just gonna launch on a tirade like that.
That was the greatest. Oh. All right. From this point forward, Kevin, your job is to make an intro just like that every time.
I'm glad somebody laughed at my jokes. Although I wasn't really joking, it was functioning. So, this movie is actually based on science fiction. Just tell me why I can read this.
Just go. Just go.
Okay. So this movie is actually based on the science fiction novel Battlefield Earth, a Saga of the year 3000 by cult leader and founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. And the L stands for lackluster. This movie is only doing the first half of the novel. It never finished.
You almost made me spit orange soda all over my computer, dude.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I just saw you choking. I was like, wait a minute, do I need to stop talking? So yeah, they only did half of this movie because he's still looking for someone to do the sequel to this movie. Maybe some man animal will help finish it.
Let me see this thing. Oh, there's a warning label on here. It says, warning. This movie has more potholes than Shreveport. Oh, my goodness. There's another warning. This movie is 2 hours of your life that you won't get back. I'm scared, guys. I think I'm having more fun with the intro than we are going with this movie we're about to watch.
The intro was worth it for me.
All right, in a podcast.
So we are not being able to retrieve these 2 hours back once we use them up.
No,
they're gone forever.
Okay. Do we have enough oxygen to keep us lasting that long?
I don't know. I just used a lot laughing just now.
Okay. Maybe we'll laugh throughout this movie. Maybe we won't.
I'm not.
What do you think?
I'm not expecting to like this at all. I've got my matches ready for the dumpster. Is all I'm saying.
Have you seen this before?
Once, right after it came out on VHS.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Not gonna lie.
I remember being a Hollywood Video, and I don't think too many people checked this movie out.
Nope.
Did they, Dallas? I know you worked at Hollywood Video too.
No, people avoided it.
Huh.
I was not working at Hollywood Video when it came out, but I remember, like, generally at Hollywood, we'd have like a stock of one or two, or at least two copies of most movies.
Yeah, just in case it all rented out, then you give them a free copy. But there was no way to give a free copy of this out.
Well, this was like, we only had one copy of it, and I never saw it get checked out ever. I take that back. There was one person that checked it out, and it was they were writing a paper on it. And that was the only time I've ever seen that movie checked out.
It was probably a comparison to the novel.
Probably.
I tried to check this movie out recently at a library.
Oh.
And I think I told you the story. The librarian told me, it's like, no, you don't want to watch, you don't watch this crap. Of course, crap wasn't the word she said. Right. And I was like, okay, well, what about Mars Attacks and something else? Oh, we don't have that. Someone's already checked that out. I was like, crap. Well, how long has it been? It's been a month now. We're probably not going to get it back. It's like, okay. So the Battlefield Earth, they didn't have, and she's like, you don't want to check it out. So now apparently I found it right here in this dumpster. So maybe that's where it went. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Let's just pop it in and see what we could find out of this film. Right.
All right.
John, you got any random trivia about it?
Yeah.
And I do know that this was a passion project for John Travolta, something he insisted on wanting to do. Let's see here. Pulling up
he was pretty adamant about making this film.
He was
using what, 10 or 15 million dollars of his own money to put into this film to make it. Because it was still under budget.
About it.
Yeah, and that he was actually autographing the novels to help promote it.
So there was that, and it was an enormous financial loss for all involved. Really? Came in well underneath what its movie budget was. It was expected. It was actually expected to be a massive sci-fi blockbuster because during the time period, those were the big things. And this thing took a bath entirely.
Crazy.
All right, everybody. So I guess it's on that happy note. I guess it's time to watch this.
Joy.
All right.
Dear listeners, this is your opportunity to escape. Our crew has just entered into the media projection chamber. What horrors and madness that they consume are unknown. Their mental state upon their return is unknown. You have been warned.
Okay. Oh, why? Who did this? Who put this on the list?
That would be me. I was the one who put it on there.
This is our job. All right.
I'm not getting paid, so I don't know how this is my job.
You're the one that brought the dumpster up. Oh my gosh. All right. So for those of you guys who don't know what we just watched, let me read the description of this film before we get into the spoiler-free discussion. It's the year 3000 AD, and Earth is lost to the alien race, the Cyclos, Humanity is enslaved by these gold-thirsty tyrants who are unaware that their man-animals are about to ignite the rebellion of a lifetime.
In a world,
I think it was more entertaining than the actual film.
In a world where man is an endangered species, one man has the power. No, I don't know.
All right, let's get into the spoiler-free conversation about it.
How about you start on that, Dallas?
All right, I'll get started. So it was an interesting film. Let's talk about what I liked about it with a non-spoiler free aspect. Give me a second to ponder and put my thoughts together about this. I am a fan of post-apocalyptic films as a general basis. I like the theorizing of where would mankind be in the future and how we're combining technology and stuff like that. But also, I love have you guys seen those pictures and those videos out there where they go into like these ghost towns and they see like you see abandoned cities or stuff like that? Those fascinate the mess out of me. So when they were envisioning the abandoned city or even the putt-putt golf place that they saw there, that was interesting. That was interesting scenery to me, was seeing these abandoned cities and the way that they made things just like they've been abandoned for a long time. I appreciated that. So that's my thing that I appreciated about the film. John, what did you appreciate about the film?
I appreciated how much it reminded me of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Thank you. Yes. I was going the same thing. Like, this is like Horizon Zero Dawn, only not as good.
So, I mean, if I were to put it in a nutshell, yeah, this movie, there's a lot of plot points that it hits in it that this is very much like Horizon Zero Dawn. Mm-hmm. So for you gamers out there, that's a thing. Kevin, let's hear what you have to say.
That's okay. I mean,
you got nothing else?
It has green filters, green drinks, green lasers, and all the Dutch angles and every other minute that your heart desires. It's dope. I mean, I'm trying to think of the words how I'm gonna put this together. The film is fantastic, and how it can just take itself so serious with the most inane, ridiculous, stupid, idiotic, brain-numbing scenes that goes beyond human comprehension. Okay, there we go.
With that segue, tell us something you didn't like. Kevin, tell me one thing, calmly, not spoilers, you did not enjoy about the film.
I did not enjoy myself sitting down watching this movie. It took me 5 blessed days to get through this movie.
Are you for real?
I fell asleep the first 3 times. The second time, I was watching bits and pieces, and I'm like, I got to go to work. I got to do something. And then came back. It's like, I got to finish this. And I just fell asleep and conked out. And it's like, I can't. I'm trying my best to finish this film. And every ounce of iota that lied within inside of me was fighting myself to just watch the movie. And I just tried. I was jacked up on Mountain Dew and Red Bull. I was trying. Okay. And I mean, I kind of enjoyed the costumes. The costumes was horrible. Everything was horrible. I didn't think the costumes got bad until when I saw like his latex hands and his thumb sticking out. And I'm like, hey, that's not even a proper latex. I'm trying to think what was good. I guess they had money to make something. I don't know.
John, tell me something you didn't like before we get into it.
You're asking me like, hey, how does this piece of turd looks like? Does it look good from this angle? Or does it look good from this angle? Hey, let's do a Dutch angle of this and let's see if this makes it better.
Kevin is on fire today, ladies and gentlemen. John, tell me something you didn't like.
I can give you 2 words and it'll, screen wipes.
Do we have to bleep them out?
This is a family-friendly show. No,
I just said it. Kevin just decided to march over me, but screen wipes.
Screen. Yes.
I've seen it kept screen wiping like it was Babylon 5. I mean, like the production value that I was seeing, the video production value, it literally was like a made for TV. It was like a sci-fi. It was like a movie for the Sci-Fi Channel.
It felt like
it was like an extended episode like of some sci-fi TV show.
Did you watch Highlander from the 90s, the TV series? It felt like that the entire time. From the color grade to the terrible wipes, even like the way they did some of the soundtracking. This is one of my complaints about it was the soundtracking for it. The scoring was just terrible.
I almost wanted to say that this movie might have been shot with a Sony handheld home video recorder, and they were just hitting the screen wipe button on the camcorder when they were changing scenes.
It's probably all they could afford. I don't know how they could afford more with how much money they had.
Oh my god!
Kevin is just fuming in his video feed right now.
He is, man. Kevin, I need you to calm down, bro. Breathe, Kevin, breathe.
What about okay, well, I guess that's a thing now. Dallas, how about you? What was something that you disliked about this movie?
Well, I kind of dipped into it already. Was the scoring of the film as a whole, and then the color grade. The day for night or night for day, whatever it is. Yeah. I forgot the technical term where you try to make it look nighttime, but it's actually daytime when you're filming it. It's always a terrible thing. Like it never came out right when they tried doing it back in the 90s, where they would color grade things down, make it darker, put a blue filter over everything to go, oh, it's nighttime. It never, ever, ever looked right. They used that same technique for when they were underneath the dome for the cyclos, because I was like, their atmosphere to be able to breathe. Even with them trying to make a good excuse to use it, it doesn't work. And so just nothing about the film, color-wise or visuals, nothing of it worked at all during the entire film.
Okay, we haven't hit spoilers yet, but I do want to ask this question because it kind of taps into what you literally just got done saying. And it's a callback to one of our previous episodes. Was the day for night in this movie better than it was in Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Only because they weren't trying to say it was nighttime. That's the only reason. Like the excuse was we're using this terrible filter because we're under a special like dome that keeps out certain colors. But even that wasn't even accurate at times either. Like there were times where they're like, oh yeah, we're out here in the open and there's just no. It was. I don't even have words anymore.
Okay. Well,
Cyclones, what a stupid name.
All right. Let's go ahead and give our ratings and we'll flip over to spoilers. I think Kevin again has kind of projected his rating, but Kevin, how throw
it in the fire. Okay. I'm not even letting you finish. Dallas, we want to throw in the fire. Okay, fine. John, you want to do it? Throw in the fire? Fine. Fire.
Wow.
I need you to calm down. Don't yell in the microphone. You can distort your voice.
Dallas, how do you feel?
I am in the camp that this film has a lot of conversational pieces about it, but it needs to be thrown back in the dumpster, lit on fire, and jettisoned into space with my taco machine.
Come on, ask me.
John,
yeah,
how do you feel?
This is the reason why I've been so quiet about talking about this movie until now. Middle shelf.
What?
Middle shelf.
What?
Yep.
You have to. All right. Without getting, can you justify that without getting into spoilers?
I went with Kevin's description at the end of Plan 9 from Outer Space. And I walked away from this movie and I asked myself at the end of the movie, once I consumed the whole thing, was I entertained? And And after I turned my brain off and I stopped trying to take it seriously and I just watched it as a dumb action sci-fi TV show, because that's the quality of entertainment that we're watching here, I was entertained by the end of it. No, there were points that it did not make sense, but if you don't think about it too hard, I was entertained.
And you're telling me people what happened to me growing up who hate you in your life? You're telling me this? This movie is more useless and pathetic than Stephen Hawking's legs, okay?
I don't fall asleep. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. There's a line. I fell asleep in this film. My wife couldn't handle this film. Like Kevin slept for 5 days because of this film.
Third time I tried to say, you know what? Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Well, I guess I was trying to follow what John was doing. It's like, you know what? Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe I'm taking this film too seriously. No, I couldn't even find it. I couldn't find nothing worth of entertainment in this entirety of the film.
Like I gave us bottom shelf for Plan 9. I didn't say jettison. I said bottom shelf because there are some historical, like it's become a cult classic. There's things about it that people look to, they talk about. It's the final appearance of Lugosi. There's nothing.
Lugosi.
Thank you. There's nothing redeeming about this film for me at all. Like I fell asleep, but I see no values to this later.
You were entertained. I came into this and I knew that I was going to be alone in my perspective. And I walked into this expecting to hate it. Okay. Like for real, like I remember the first time I watched it. I remember the first time that I watched this movie and I thought it was a boring, vapid waste of time the first time I saw it. Coming back to it, I walked into it expecting to feel that way, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to clear the slate. I'm going to walk into it with a completely open mind and just watch it as it is without any pretext of it being a good movie or a bad movie, and just watch it.
Wow.
And
was you watching this like on the sofa? Like, would you like lean your head like this as you was watching it the entire time? I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure you were like, I'm just going to lean like this watching the movie. And then switch angles. Like, I'm going to sleep on the other side of the sofa now as I'm watching the movie. Like
I suddenly just understood the warning label that someone suggested on our Facebook because Kevin did that. But yes, I was partly laying on a sofa while I was watching this. I watched. I watched it after my band's concert yesterday, and my back was a little bit sore, so I had to be a little bit horizontal when I was.
Was your eardrums blown after the concert too, and then you didn't have to hear most of it too?
Shut up. I'll take the abuse because I gave you a little bit of gruff about hating Mars Attacks, but. Yeah, man. I mean, this is above bottom shelf for me. This is something I might even watch again.
I gotta say, I'm surprised by that rating. I went into it thinking maybe bottom shelf. I remember watching this years ago and going, okay, like I remember like it wasn't a great movie, but I don't remember it being just trash. And it downgraded in my mind quite a bit. So it's interesting that you went the opposite direction of me.
Yeah, I think it's just because I set the bar so low for this movie.
That was the problem.
Like I think my bar was set in subterranean things, and so it seemed just by comparison for what I was expecting, it jumped my bar so much that it just I don't know. Maybe if I watch it a third time, I would be able to see it with the fire that Kevin's putting out here. But I mean, right.
This is the first time I've ever seen it. And I was just
really
hearing I never saw this movie before. Like I said, I tried to check it out before and I tried to get it from a certain place and they didn't have it. So like, I was like, maybe this is a movie I'm just destined to never, ever see. And then here it is in this dumpster, which I'm about to light on fire. So it's okay. Two of us already seen on fire.
The two of you said fire. I accept the judgment of the crew, but if I'm just being honest about how I felt about it when it got over with.
I respect that. I think it's interesting though. I came in going, it won't be terrible. And it downgraded for me. For you, you're like, this is trash and upgraded for you. Kevin went in there blind and he wishes he remained blind.
This is from the spawn of Satan. Okay?
I wouldn't go that
This
far,
is
but it's pretty bad.
This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life, along with House 2, Manos: The Hands of Fate, and The Avengers that was made in 1998. This is that bad. Like, I've never seen a film that horrendous. Like, everyone kept telling me like it's so horrible. I was like, yeah, you're full of it, because I've heard people tell me how a movie is so bad they can't take it. But there was those movies that they said to me, I was like, it's not as bad as you said it was. This one was just that bad. It was so mind numbing.
Well, let's do this. Let's go into our spoiler section, and then we will give rationally and calmly reasons why in the spoiler section why we liked it or didn't like it.
I think that call for rationality and calmness is lost on Kevin. I think we're gonna catch the Fighting Irish on this one.
I'll be calm. I'll be calm. I mean, it didn't win 7 Razzie Awards for nothing.
All right, John, take us into the next section.
Ladies and gentlemen, the spoiler section.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the spoiler section. So if you are like, I'm going to go watch this film because I think John might have a good case for this, stop this podcast now, go watch it, then return. That being said, let's get into this spoiler full section. John, you're the odd man out.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you the option. Do you want to go last? Or do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I am the odd man out, and I'll make.
Yeah, go ahead, go first. Let's hear all the things you have to say.
And here's I'm going to be open. Here's what I'm doing. We've rated this already as dumpster fire going out there. If you can change my mind, then this will be the first episode where we've changed our review. So give me your spoiler filled case of why.
Okay, let me qualify everything I'm about to discuss here. Okay.
Okay.
The scripting of this movie is awful. The acting in this movie is terrible. The special effects in this movie are horrendous. I acknowledge that for all the same reasons that Plan 9 was a bad movie, this is a bad movie. But there was, I'm watching it, and, on the same level, like watching a Bruce Campbell movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not one of the good Bruce Campbell movies. You're still entertained by it. They're John Travolta, say what you want about him. Did he do a good job in this movie? No. But there is always something charming about John Travolta. And there was just some interactions in this movie between John Travolta's character and Forrest Whitaker's character that, I enjoyed just watching them try to betray each other repeatedly. And the whole, this movie is basically a giant prison escape movie. And, if you can just shut your brain off and stop trying to appreciate, and accept, yes, everything is bad about this movie, but let's just watch it for the sake of the narrative and just watch it, turn your brain off, stop thinking. I enjoyed it, and I really, and I think, and Kevin, you're partly to blame for this. I'm going to put this out there, because like I said, I was going into this movie thinking, okay, this thing is a burning dog turd in a diarrhea factory. Okay. I was going in with that mentality. And then you were joking around, apparently, in our Facebook chat saying, I enjoyed it. I'm like, well, if Kevin enjoyed it, because I took you seriously, homie. I'm like, if Kevin enjoyed it, I'm going to go in this with an open mind. Maybe I didn't see it the way that I was supposed to.
The
Dang it,
art of
Kevin.
slagging. The art of slagging, and no one still doesn't understand it.
So I went into it looking for reasons to like it. And I enjoyed myself.
Do you enjoy eating nails with your bagels?
You know, and like I said, I expected to be the odd man out on this one after I watched it, and I was like, I was entertained. So, but
see, I was expecting to be all person out first watching it because I started watching like maybe this is not as bad as everyone says it is, and I didn't read everybody else's. I just went. This is the first time I think I actually went without reading any critic, reading anybody's review at all. The only review I've ever known in my mind was one that Leonard Maltin did and the one that Roger Ebert did. That's the only one I knew. And that was back when it first came out. I didn't know any, only ones I knew was everything that everybody else told me. Including Celeste telling me I'm not watching reviews anymore if you think this is good. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. Maybe I'll just keep this slagging thing going.
All right.
And I'm pulling something up here because there's an actor in it, and I don't remember his name off the cuff here. So I'm trying to.
I know Forrest Whitaker actually came out and apologized for being in the movie and wished he never did it. I think like a couple of times.
Kim Coates in this movie, I enjoyed him. I think he did a good job.
Was that the clean-shaven white guy?
It was Carlo.
Well, they were all clean shaven.
I know. I'm going to think. Well, most of them were, except for like when you hit like 50, and all of a sudden you become a massive beard on you.
Yeah, it was Carlo. So.
I enjoyed him. I felt something when he ate it at the end. I liked his character, and you know what? When they showed the Cyclo home world, and that guy showed up with the nuclear bomb and ignited their atmosphere, I felt a sense of excitement. Like, yes, But like I said,
that whole planet was radioactive. They never saw anything explode in their entire lives except for that one time with a radioactive planet.
Well, they're again, the planet was based around, had an atmosphere that was normal to them. So no, they never had that happen.
But all of a sudden, you just have a whole bunch of bombs, and one person hits it, and it's like, okay, explosions happens.
I'm not saying, like I said,
like
I said, when I qualified what I was saying, I said, I know this was poorly written. I know that this was poorly acted. I know that the film quality and the production value is low, but I was entertained.
Right. Okay, then.
It's like,
Kevin,
it's like eating frosting. It tastes good. There's nothing good in it.
I don't know what frosting you're talking about. What kind of frosting you're talking about? Like, I can make frosting that tastes good. If I get frosting from like the Duncan Hines or wherever it is they sell the
like I said, it tastes good. I enjoyed the process of consuming it, but there's nothing of value to it, is what I'm saying.
Sort of like the stuff.
That was yogurt, bro, not frosting.
You sure that was yogurt?
I'll play your game, bro. I know the stuff.
All right, Kevin, going into spoiler stuff, what are your thoughts on the film using spoilers?
The people were stupid, the aliens were stupid, the planet blew up, then at the end, boom, done.
Well, all right, let's get into some of the stuff that why this was not a good film. John's conceded it's not a good film. All right, so we're not gonna put that up there and get like, oh no, John says this is a great film. He says it's a bad film, and there's good reasons why. Like the introduction of characters was just sloppy as all get out. Like you have this random like montage of them like them being enslaved and all sorts of stuff. You had this terrible scoring taking place. Like in the opening, in the first scene where they meet the Cyclos, and this should be an action pack, like exciting moment.
The very beginning.
Have this boring music take place. You're like, what is happening here? Like, who scored this? Does anybody know? Who scored this film?
Don't care.
A 5-year-old with Bandcamp, Garage Band. I mean,
Garage Band.
when she comes up and says your father's dead, no, he doesn't say no. He doesn't say no. He just screams and throws his fist in the air, and the camera goes to slow motion, which is not even filmed in slow motion rate to actually have a smooth slow motion. The scene of the film.
Slow motion.
Yeah, the film rate when you slow it down.
Yeah.
In order to have a smooth or
Go from 60
slow,
to 30.
Thank you. They didn't even do that. They just used the regular and they just cut it down, thinking that I knew right then it's like, oh no. And then it goes to the other scene where it's like they're talking about the gods, and you beware these demons, and he jumps in this most ridiculous overacting, like he just went from 0 to full freaking 1,000. Like, have you seen the demons? Any of them? And he starts jumping around like some stupid monkey throwing dirt in the air, just psyching out. I'm like, why are you doing this? What's going on? You just like took acid or something before doing this? Why are you acting this way?
Okay.
And they keep talking about all these things that just nothing's coherent. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. This was a poorly acted movie. I've seen better acting at a junior high theater rehearsal. No doubt about it.
Well, like, and just things didn't make sense. Like we have, it's been 1,000 years apparently, and like the humanity has disintegrated, and they have no like understanding of basic things. But at the same time, there's like, oh yeah, we know this, and this about our society, and we speak perfect English, and you're like, what? And then okay, why did they start suddenly saying piece of cake? What happened there? Did we miss a scene?
Thank you. They don't know
where
what
they're all
cake is.
They're like, piece of cake. Like, where did that phrase come from? Like, seriously, those of you listening, is there a cut scene in the special edition Blu-ray somewhere out there that we're missing where they discover the phrase piece of cake?
Dallas, when I buy this movie, I'll let you know.
Please do.
I don't know if this movie's available for Blu-ray. Is it? I think it was only on DVD.
You know what?
It's probably in the Criterion collection, and you're going to be angry about it when it does.
The Criterion collection. Yes, they're making a Criterion of this movie.
No, that'd be something like Severian Films or Vinegar Syndrome. They'll do something like that.
Shout Factory.
But like they're just things that don't line up. Like there are times where they talk perfectly, and then they're grunting like apes.
I was like, well, at first it took me a moment, like what was going on? I was like, okay. After about like an hour and 15 minutes, I was like, okay, I get it. They're both speaking English for the audience, but one side is actually speaking alien because they needed a transition. But it was so poorly done. You know what movie did it so much better? John Carter. Have you ever seen that movie?
I like
that movie. Made so much more sense when they were speaking, and it kept showing the one aliens doing subtitles, because then you'll shoot back the subtitles like, okay, what are we supposed to understand from these aliens? Are they speaking their own alien language, or what, cyclone, whatever, psycho? And then they go to English, and then they go to subtitle, and they go back and forth. I'm like, they can't make up their mind what they want to speak like.
This movie is available on Blu-ray.
Wow. How much is it? $20?
$9.85.
Oh, wow. That's somebody's getting robbed in that deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, just things didn't work out. And then the costuming, you brought up the costuming early, Kevin. Why are the Cyclones dressed up like industrial goth kids?
Why do they have rubber hands? Why are they walking around on 4-foot stilts that everyone can apparently see what they're doing? See, I can understand if this movie was being bad intentionally, or if there was only one person who really had passion in this movie. Only one, and that was John Travolta. Yeah. Even the director wants to disown this movie. Everybody wants to disown this movie except for John Travolta.
Like, back to the costume.
And he's still looking for someone to do a sequel for this.
Yeah. Well, back to like the story about the suits and everything like that. John Travolta's character loses an entire freaking arm, and it just sort of drapes there. Like, you're like, this is clearly plastic. And he's like, oh, like, I kept expecting him to go, it's only a flesh wound. Like, I really expected that.
His finger changed. It went from like 5 to 4 in a couple of scenes. If you notice, you looked at it like, wait a minute, his finger did just change throughout the entire movie. What's going on? Is it 5 or is it 4?
Shannon. It's like Shannon Doherty's floating eyeball. Just changes spots on where it is on her face.
I think it would have been funny if someone was like, did you have an extra digit on there? It's like, oh yeah, I don't know what happened. What's the hump on your back? I had a hump? Something.
Can I point this out? The ending, though, I want somebody to take the ending. And if you're listening out there, I need somebody to take the ending and overlay it. Like when she comes up and hugs him, I need somebody to overlay it with the Mentos Fresh commercial music. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like a Mentos commercial.
Fresh goes better with Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos freshness, full of life. Mentos.
She's hugging him there.
Mentos, the Cyclo Fighter.
Someone watches a lot of television.
That made it better. That just made the film better. All right, I'm there you go. With that ending, I'm officially on board. That is one big Mentos commercial. Is this movie?
There's your fan theory for this movie. It's actually just a giant Mentos commercial.
And they use green filters for no other reason but to use a green filter for whatever. They just like, oh, witness film needs a green filter, and then take it back off, then put it back on, then take it back off, then put it back on, then take it back off. Why? This film, like 98% of it is on Dutch angle. The very few times when it's actually you can level it, you're like, oh my gosh, thank you, eyes, thank you so much. And it's like, oh no, back to Dutch angle. Why did they had slaves for 1,000 years? They understood what they said. They didn't know anything about them. They didn't know what their favorite food was. You didn't even know what they eat. Come on, you've been feeding them. You throw them out the window, so that shows you their favorite food. They both sounded so stupid on both sides. Oh, by the way, that jail food, I looked it up what it was that slop they ate them. It was, what was it? Peas, potatoes, and lettuce greens. That was all smashed up.
So Irish cuisine.
I guess, yeah, kind of, but you know, they could use some salt and pepper. But yeah.
What did you say, Dallas?
That's a dirty. That's just dirty.
And it's looking, it's like, oh, they must like rat. It's like you've been watching them for 1,000 years. You don't know what they eat. You don't know what they sound like. You're the dumbest slave owners on the planet.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know anything about them. And then you're like, hey, we want you to mine this perfectly shaped gold that doesn't. I've never seen gold shaped perfect like that. From what? Fort Knox? That has no dust on it, whatever. And you're training them to do everything to fight against you. You give them a gun. Hey, I never saw him shoot anyone. Let's see if he shoots someone else again.
It was legitimately just over the top the way they played out some of those scenes. Like Travolta was on another level. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why he was so excited. He is a better actor than this. And
we already know why he was so excited for.
Oh my goodness. By the way, I looked up the guy who did the music. His name is Eli Camiral. Cmiral. I apologize for Smearl. That's how you pronounce it, Smearl. And I'm not impressed with his filmography. He did Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Not the best one. Not the best one.
No. He did Splinter, Pulse 2, Afterlife. What else is here? Like really nothing big at all. And he did a movie called The Rats. That's interesting.
It's called The Rats.
He did work on Nash Bridges. So that's something in his corner. I enjoyed that show. All right.
Well,
is there anything else we want to add to this conversation?
I don't think there's,
because I feel like
I feel like we've just hit a point where Kevin's just going to rant.
Well, because angry. It's just nothing in this movie made sense. When you're supposed to be the slave owner of a planet, and you have these people you can't even call humans or mans. You call them man animals.
Kevin,
like, wow,
Kevin, do you need a hug?
No,
you need a hug.
What I need is a better movie.
Do you need a hug, bro?
No.
I'll play the Mentos commercial music for you.
All right,
I'm over Altoids person.
Let's head on over to the week connections. Do you have one for us, Dallas?
I got one.
All right.
This is a week connection.
Okay, so in this film, whether we liked it or not, humanity had to grow, and it really took humanity working together and challenging each other. In a variety of ways. You had the one main character who obviously he had the information beamed into his head, which where was that when I was in high school? That could have been really helpful for some of my math tests that I had. But then it took him teaching other people stuff. But even in that process of him teaching people who technically weren't as intelligent as him, they challenged him and helped him to learn certain things also.
Challenge.
And so this is where the kind of thing is, we need people to lean in. We need to lean on each other. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron. One man sharpens another. That is an essential aspect to life. We need people to encourage us, to challenge us, to help us see things differently. Great example right here in this podcast that we've been doing here now for 4 episodes. Iron sharpening iron. Kevin has sharpened John, and now John sees value in this terrible film. So Kevin, thank you for sharpening John the way you have and teaching him to see movies the way that you see movies.
Whatever.
But beyond that, I mean, that really, it's an essential aspect. Like, we need each other. Like, I need you guys to challenge me, to help me see things differently. We need each other we need to encourage each other. And for those of you listening, like, you need people in your life. We live in a world of isolation where it's easy to isolate ourselves, especially in 2020 and 2021 time frame, to isolate ourselves and not see people and not have them in our lives. But we need it. It's essential. Or we will end up like these individuals who were living out in the middle of the caves in this movie, and they just didn't know what was going on, even though they strangely had technology that functioned. I'm not going to get into that today. But anyways, so many plot holes.
They couldn't walk a day away to figure out what was beyond them.
So that's my encouragement for you guys, is to find people and let them challenge you and encourage you. So that is my weak connection.
I got one. I came up with it right when you were saying that.
Come on.
My weak connection comes from Exodus 23, verse 12. 6 days you shall do your work, but on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and your son and your servant woman and the alien may be refreshed.
Don't think that's what that means, but okay.
Weak connection, bro.
I see. It was. I like it though. Oh my gosh. You got anything, bro? Kevin?
Nope.
Kevin's like, I'm not even trying.
I am seeing literal hate fumes come off of Kevin about this movie.
You're all doomed in this movie, for whether you're a man, animal, a cyclone, whatever it was that you went through the Library of Congress. Like, hey, look, this is a perfectly well-functioning Declaration of Independence that has never chipped away, never dusted or anything. Just a little bit of dust, just brush off.
Hate fumes.
This is all of your education right here. And it was like,
Kevin's been drinking the Haterade.
You know my education?
Kevin's drinking the Haterade.
Oh,
yeah,
my
because
gosh.
Gator sucks, so does Gatorade.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear from you guys. What are your opinions on this film? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you with John? It's a terrible film, but it's a bottom shelf film. It's not as, it doesn't need to be Jensen in space.
I said middle shelf.
Middle shelf. Yeah. I apologize. Oh, that's even bigger.
Stop raising that higher than it needs to be. Okay.
All right. So let us know. Is it middle shelf or do you agree with Kevin and I? And it needs to go away for a long, long time. Leave comments on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Bottom Shelf Podcast, and let us know. Don't forget to to share all this stuff out on social media, and encourage people to check out our show. Maybe somebody will enjoy it and be sharpened by it. Kevin, John, you guys have anything to add?
Always walk into a terrible movie with an open mind. You never know how much entertainment you can actually get out of it.
There you go.
I would say don't walk in with an open mind, but guard your heart and mind from all kinds of evil and stupidity from stuff.
Kevin had his weak connection anyways.
While that movie is still burning, you know what? I'm just gonna throw some more fuel on there. There we go. A nice burn. While that movie is still burning, there's a bunch more movies here in this dumpster. And I'm not sure if I want to grab any more movies after this.
You know, Kevin,
should we really grab some more movies?
Kevin, Dallas actually inspired an addition to the list while you were away between episodes.
Wait, where this list came from?
The list that we're working on.
I thought these movies were coming from the dumpster. Wait. Well, are you throwing movies in the dumpster behind my back?
No, it's we had Glicks take a look down at the dumpster, just to see what could possibly be in store next. And we noticed
What it clicks find.
Legion.
Nobody knows what that is. What is Kevin's walking off the spaceship, guys?
Looks like it's like Kevin's about to blast himself out the airlock.
Oh my gosh. All right. Do we have an idea of what the next film is going to be?
Well,
I really thought right here in the bottom it was Street Fighter and Street Fighter 2. That's why I thought I'm here looking at. But we're not doing Street Fighter or Street Fighter 2?
no, we don't have a specific order.
Or is it? Oh, we don't?
No.
All right, you know what? That's all fine, dandy, and lovely, and so forth. But I have these two movies right here. Okay, now I have Crow, and I have Dark Star.
Kroll?
Yeah, I know it's a weird
Okay.
spelling. It's Krull.
That was one of
All
was one of what's his face's first movies, wasn't it?
Liam Neeson's earliest movies.
Oh.
One of his first earliest ones.
Yes. Back when he still had the accent.
He always has the accent. He just gets a little more drier.
All right. Well, I'm excited to check this out.
Hey.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, let's see, because I remember sprinting this a couple of times, and I remember other people telling me that it wasn't that great, but I just found it was actually fun, kind of like a Star Wars ripoff, like it was. Well, I think.
Let's save that talk for the actual episode.
Yeah.
All
Let's-
right. Well, until next time from us here at the Bottom Shelf, we've rated this movie, the Battlefield Earth, a disputed throw it in the dumpster and launch it into space. And join us next time as we cover Kroll. So stay devoted, guys. Peace and love.
Bye.
Yeah. Peace and love. Yeah.